Well, I guess it's my turn to weigh in on Kendra G. But before I really get started, I just want to say that Kendra G, because Kendra G is actually mainstream, which is funny. Kendra G is actually mainstream because she's been in the mainstream reporting or entertainment reporting for like last, 15 years? And she does have a radio spot in Chicago. And the fact that she would comment on Kevin Samuels means that the Black manosphere has gone mainstream. It has. Her mentioning it, her putting it out there, her putting it on Instagram, and other people outside of the Black community actually coming in and tuning in and following it means that our ideas and our point of view, our worldview, is actually gotten into popular media and is actually mainstream. And that's probably because the compression that the Black community has. Most communities don't have the same kind of compression or class compression that the Black community has, to where from top to bottom, basically we all know each other, even though there's like 40 million. But because of the, how can I say, the racist underclass that we suffer from, it kind of compresses the community so that these ideas that could have come from the top, bottom, or middle kind of permeate. And I think that the reason that somebody like Kendra G is actually commenting on somebody like Kevin Samuels in this sector of YouTube is because of that compression, is because it's affecting the top end. But with that aside, I guess that's another video for another day. We're going to talk about Kendra G. And I was on Edward Anderson's channel because he was talking about that. And the Fox Queens thing that was on YouTube. We'll get into that in another video too. But I was listening to him talking about Kendra G and her engagement, so-called engagement that she turned down, and her engagement with, I think she said, her college sweetheart that she turned down. And she couches it by saying that she turned this down because she wanted a career. And that sounded very odd to me. You turn down an engagement from your college sweetheart because you want a career. It happens, but that's not normal. Normally that kind of stuff happens when your college sweetheart is not in your class. But normally if you're both college graduates, that's a normal progression. So it sounded odd to me. So on Edwards, I actually glanced at what he was showing, especially the pictures. And then her rant on Kevin Samuels, which was at a radio station, right? So I said, okay, I get her now. I actually get her now. And I told Edward, I said, I don't know why you guys can't break this kind of woman down, this kind of chick down, when we've given you all the tools over the last 5-6 years. And what's wrong with her, or what's wrong with what she's saying, and why she's 41 with her frozen eggs and not married and never been married, should be fairly obvious. The same reason that K. Michelle and B. Simone were going through the same thing. It's not that they don't want to be married. It's because the right guy, or the right kind of guy, or the right class of guy has not proposed to him. And I said that before Edward went through her Instagram. Why did I say that? Because she's in the media. And women tend to want guys that are in the class of people that they're working around. Because she's around women. She's around guys that are what we call celebrities, that have status. And those are people that she parties with. Those are people that she hangs out with. And it's very natural to want to couple with men in that status. It's just natural. That's where you are. That's where you hang out. Those are the people that you know. But the thing is, at the top end like that, what I call the 100 octane, you have to qualify. There's a kind of look and attitude that you have to qualify to be mates with those guys at the top end. You have to be extremely cooperative, and you have to look extremely good. Okay, you can't be a 7, and Kendra G is a 7. And she's not a what I call an upgradable 7. She's just a regular 7. So that is, according to my calculations, below the threshold of what I call the jet set class, the baller class, the 100 octane guys. They normally pick women that look really good on their arm because that's a status symbol for them. And they're really particular about their look. So in my estimation, she probably wouldn't qualify for guys at that level. Now, the corporate guys, the guy college graduates that make anywhere from six figures to the mid six figures, I think she would have gotten one of those guys. With her status and with her look, she probably could qualify for a guy like that when she was younger. I think as you roll through your 30s, that thing, like Kevin says, your market value does go down. And I think at 41, her market value is not quite high enough, and her status is not quite high enough to attract a corporate guy. So we went start going through her Instagram, and lo and behold, you can see the pictures of her with Ludacris. I think she had one with Kanye West. She's got pictures with other celebrities and stars. And it's not just business pictures, but also club pictures. So that means she runs with these people. She hangs out with these group of people. She's probably even been, intimate with guys at this level. But the thing is, she's not going to get picked. So from my calculations, she's the kind of woman that's in this arena, in this environment, that's not getting picked. And she's trying to hold out to get one of these guys, one of the status guys, to actually wife her up. Because we actually saw a picture of her in Ludacris, and she had the biggest smile on her face. And I told Edward, I said, look right there. See how she's smiling? See how happy she is? That's the kind of guy she wants to be with. That's, in her mind, that's the status that, the class of people she belongs with. So for the last couple of weeks, after she's did her rant on Kevin, I've been waiting for guys to actually notice that, because we've been preaching this for the longest, how to break down and decipher and evaluate certain groups of women. Because if you listen to her, she sounds just like a K. Michelle. She sounds just like a B. Simone. And other types, even Tommy Lauren. We're talking about failed 100 octanes. Women that hang around and associate with these kind of guys, but fail to move to the next level. Fail to land one of these guys, because it's not, it's not who you smash, it's who you keep. And Kendra G shows all the outward attitudes and outward display of women that didn't make that level, or women that don't make the grade. You see it with women that are 87s that don't make the grade. I wouldn't call it bitterness, but I call it disappointment. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their attitude. And if they have to settle, they have contempt for the guys that are of the class that are beneath. Like she showed her so-called engagement or attempted engagement by a guy who appeared to be a working class guy. He wasn't a corporate guy. It didn't appear to be a corporate guy.
Okay, you trying to, what you trying to, what? What you trying to do? What you trying to?
I'm trying to marry you. That's what I'm trying to do. What you trying to do? That's the question of the day.
You don't know me enough to marry me, Jason. Jason, stop. Jason, get up.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's my wife. Now, hey,
He proposed to me every day.
I did. And we getting married on May 30th, so everybody's invited.
Wait.
May 30th.
Jason, what did I say? We're not gonna have a wedding date.
No, we're not gonna have a wedding date. She's not. I got one.
Because of the style he was and the way he dressed, he didn't appear to be corporate. He appeared to be a regular, working class guy, blue collar, maybe in the trades, maybe with his own business. I couldn't tell, but he appeared to be a regular guy. And even though she was smiling at him and she liked him being her orbiter, you could tell that she viewed him as beneath her. Like, oh, you're cute. I like that you worship me, and that's fine. But one day, if I decide that I want to come down off my hill, I may settle for you. But don't stop worshiping me. Don't stop. And that confirmed it right there. I said, okay, she deems this man is not good enough. Not because he's not nice, not because he doesn't appeal to her, not because he can't even take care of her. But the thing is that he is not the status of the men that she's around, that she works with. She wants to be in the top tier, high status class. That's where she wants to be. So I'm kind of getting tired of these these failed 100 octanes coming on social media and complaining. Okay, if you can't get the guy, you can't get the guy. If you didn't qualify, stop complaining and stop making excuses, especially when you get into your 40s. You know that by the time you get started, you're going to be 50 years old. And unless you make a big break and get really, really lucky to where you have enough status to pull in one of these guys into your orbit, probably not going to happen. So it's time to get honest and get real and stop trying to push that down the throats of black men. Stop trying to say that you know better when you're not telling the truth. And that's really all black men want, is for black women to tell the truth. Tell the truth about your story. Because especially social media is all going to come out in the wash. Somebody like me, somebody like Kevin, who Kevin was actually fairly nice, because Kevin could have told her that she didn't qualify for the men that she was after. And she's not after a so-called high-value man. She's actually after a high-status man. And a high-status man is a lot different from what the guys that Kevin is talking about. It's a lot different from the guys that Kevin's talking about. Now, can a high-status guy be a high-value guy? Of course. He probably is already. But that is a different level. And maybe one day we'll explore it. But for this chick, that's all I got for her. So don't take her too seriously, man. She's not worth it, because before this, I never heard of her. And I think before this, most people had never heard of her. So she's trying to, I don't know why she's trying to ride in on the backs of the black manosphere. But I guess, as they used to say in NASA, when those solid rocket boosters kick in, you're going somewhere. All right. And I guess the black manosphere is going somewhere. Like it or not, hang on, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye. But with that, I'm going to jump off here. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.